When I come to Jay Prince gym, that's when I'm gonna spar Shakur. But man, try. Real shit. Candle stealing it.
Say, man, hey, man. See, I played that for y'all so y'all can see what's really going down behind the scenes. I'm gonna explain to y'all what's really going down behind the scenes. Y'all heard what Keyshawn said, right? He had a smile on his face, but Keyshawn was dead serious. Keyshawn feels some type of way. He feels like that he could potentially be getting done wrong if Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney step in that ring before he step in the ring with Devin. And that ain't gonna go over well with him, right? For all of the haters that's been praying that Shakur Stevenson and Shakur fall out, it's a huge possibility that if Shakur Stevenson take that Devin Haney fight, yeah, they gonna fall out. Keyshawn mind think a lot different than Shakur do. You know what I'm talking about? Shakur is one of them dudes that's solid to the core with his boys, right? If he call you his brother, he's solid. He ain't gonna never do nothing to do you wrong. And there could be a problem in this situation. But let me explain to y'all what I'm really talking about and what's going down behind the scenes, right? How we got to this whole situation in the first place. Everybody want to know who Devin Haney gonna fight next. Is it gonna be Shakur? Is it gonna be Keyshawn Davis? And it just might not be now one of them, right? Man, when Bill Haney and Jay Prince, they got on FaceTime, right? And Jay Prince asked Bill Haney flat out, hey, if you want to make the fight, y'all keep talking about the fight with Shakur, is y'all willing to go to 144 pounds? Bill Haney said, nah, we not moving from 147. He says, okay, is you willing to do a rehydration clause at 147 pounds? Bill Haney says, nah, I'm not willing to do that neither, right? I'm not willing to do none of that. It's 147 and we ain't budget. So Jay Prince was like, if you ain't willing to meet in the middle, right, and Shakur is not ready to go up to 147 pounds with no stipulations, you just gonna have to wait until Shakur is ready to get to that weight division, right? He gotta put on more weight, get a little stronger, and we gonna have to meet in the future. Bill Haney looked that man in his face and he understood it, and they both had an agreement they was gonna leave the situation alone until Shakur Stevenson, right, was ready to go up to 147 pounds, right? They came to that agreement like men. Once they came to that agreement, well, Jay Prince has another fighter that's been wanting to fight Devin Haney, right? Oh yeah, Bill Haney and Keyshawn Davis, they actually stood, looked at each other in the eye like men, and they came to agreement that they was both supposed to keep their word that Devin and Keyshawn was supposed to fight next, right? So that should have been already on the table before Shakur Stevenson came about in the conversation recently. So with that being said, right, once they came to agreement that Shakur wasn't going up to 147 pounds with no rehydration clause, and they wasn't gonna meet at 144 pounds because Devin didn't want to budge, right? The next play is Keyshawn Davis, right? Jay Prince and Keyshawn, right, and Shakur, they thinking, okay, well, that shit is behind us for right now, right? We'll visit that later, but for now, Keyshawn is the main focus on fighting Devin, right? Top Rank, they already like that with the WBO. They want to fight. They believe in Keyshawn. They already told you time and time again that they think that he's the next mega superstar in Top Rank, right? So they go forth with doing what they got to do, right, with the sanctioning body. The sanctioning body already came out and they said why they chose to make Keyshawn Davis the #1 contender to Devin Haney, right? His mandatory. And they said, one, Brian Norman couldn't be the mandatory because he already lost to Devin Haney, which makes sense, right? And then the other guys that they named, they said that they weren't worthy of being a mandatory, right? Keyshawn had been a champion at 135, undefeated, right? He wasn't a champion at 140, but he was the #1 ranked guy at 140 in the WBO. So they explained why, right? It's all over the internet. So whatever had to happen, they made him the #1 contender, right? So when Devin finds that out, and he finds that they really gonna press this Keyshawn fight, that Keyshawn is now his mandatory, and is Keyshawn, or now you gotta drop your strap, he starts all of a sudden pressing for the Shakur fight, right? Once again, like, okay, well, now I'm willing to go to 144 pounds. Now I'm willing to go to 144 pounds. Shakur Stevenson, once he asked Shakur if it's 144, do we got to fight? Shakur say, yeah, we got to fight if it's 144 pounds. That's where Shakur messed up, right? If he wasn't 1,000% that he was willing to take the fight right now. So he jumps out and say, yeah. So that's where you got to hold him to his word. Now, I don't think that Shakur was really thinking that Keyshawn was really going to react the way that he did, because as soon as Keyshawn heard that, Keyshawn, he started flipping out, right? He go off. He get pissed at Devin and he get pissed at Shakur. Really, that's what really happened, right? Because Keyshawn, like I said before, man, him and Shakur tight, but at the end of the day, Keyshawn is looking out for himself. And I told y'all, Shakur got to look out for himself, because if you reverse the roles, Keyshawn ain't finna let no big fight go because Shakur Stevenson, right, is in the picture. He just not gonna do it, right? Keyshawn is putting Keyshawn ahead of everybody, except for his brothers, DB3, but he ain't gotta worry about them because they not competition to him, right? They not even in the same conversations as him. So he ain't gotta worry about that. Now, Keyshawn feels that, okay, y'all, you already knew that we put it into play for me and Devin Haney, right? We pressing Devin Haney. We put him in a position to where he got to fight me. You was out the picture, right? And see, this is where Devin and Bill are very smart, because Devin and Bill know that. So they're like, okay, we gonna play them against each other. We gonna put the full court press on Shakur Stevenson. Plus, he knows that, yeah, Shakur is a bigger fight, right? People want to see that fight mode, and he gonna get a lot more money fighting Shakur, right? And also, he also knows that if he loses to Shakur Stevenson, well, people ain't gonna get on him about it, right? He already got a built-in excuse they gonna use for him. Oh, well, he was depleted. He had to go down to 144. Shakur would have never done that if they had a fought at 147 pounds. They already given him a built-in excuse, right? And it's like, okay, well, he outboxed me. He's the #1 pound for pound guy, arguably, in a lot of people's minds, right? In the world. As far as Keyshawn Davis, they already done talked down on him, right? He only got 15 fights. And if he loses to Keyshawn, and Keyshawn is more dangerous because he might F around and get stopped by Keyshawn, right? Not just outbox, Keyshawn might stop him. And he know that. He know that's a possibility. Now, I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I'm saying that it's a possibility. He know Keyshawn is dangerous in a whole different way than Shakur is, right? Not saying that Keyshawn is a better fighter than Shakur, but he's more dangerous, right? More knockout power, more explosive, the more aggressive fighter, right? Plus he can box. So yeah, he know. So if he lose to Keyshawn, that's gonna mess his career up. Mess the so-called bag that he got on the table, and I'm not saying he ain't got a bag on the table with Zuffa. He's gonna mess everything up. So, yeah, he don't want to fight Keyshawn. He definitely don't want to fight Keyshawn. But Keyshawn, he's sitting in the background now, and he pissed off because he know it's a possibility that Shakur can say, well, you know what? I'm gonna take this fight. But Shakur, his back is up against the wall because now he looking like a duck, right? To a lot of the fans, not to me, but to a lot of the fans, because I know what's going down. He looking like they think he a duck because he trying to be a real live partner to his homeboy, right? He want everybody around him to shine and eat, right? So he like, okay, you know, hey, we didn't think they was gonna come up with this play. We was all under assumption that Keyshawn was next in line, and they was gonna wait for me to come up to 147 like they agreed to Jay Prince, right? So they wasn't expecting Devin Haney and Bill Haney to come up with this shit, right? Out the blue, because they don't want to fight Keyshawn. They wasn't expecting that shit. So it kind of threw them for a loop. Now it's putting Shakur in a hard spot, right? Because he like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I did say I accept 144 pounds, but then I'm also gonna feel like that I'm doing my partner wrong, right? That I'm doing my brother wrong. But at this point in time, like I said before, man, Shakur got to come out and he got to let it be known to Devin, right, on public, because they do everything on Twitter anyway. Hey, Devin, if you really serious, because I heard Devin and went on the show today and called Shakur's name and said 144, what's popping, I want it. If you really serious, Devin, you're calling my name, go ahead and relinquish that title. Let me know you really want to fight, right? If not, you just wasted my time. Because see, Devin can't fight Shakur Stevenson and keep that strap. We all know that. So it's either one or the other. But see, Devin already got a play in line, right? If Shakur say, nah, you know what? I'm gonna let you go ahead and fight Keyshawn, because he know Keyshawn already crashing. Now, y'all seen it, man. Keyshawn don't want Shakur to get that fight, right? Keyshawn don't want Shakur to get that fight because he want to be the nigga that's in the spotlight. He want to get all the shine on him, and he know what it'll do for his career if he beat a Devin Haney right now before Shakur Stevenson do, right? He know what this gonna do for him. But hey, man, this a bad situation, and Devin and Bill done did it again, man. They done did it again. And the thing is, Devin ain't fighting Shakur. I mean, Devin ain't fighting Keyshawn, no matter what. So Keyshawn need to realize that eventually, and if Shakur take that fight and Keyshawn spaz out about it and they fall out about it, well, Keyshawn wasn't really your partner like you thought he was in the first place, because at the end of the day, it ain't really up to Shakur. It ain't really up to Keyshawn. It's up to Devin Haney, right? If Devin Haney decide that he gonna drop his title, that mean that he ain't want to fight Keyshawn in the first place. You feel me? That mean that he ain't want to fight Keyshawn in the first place. So regardless if it was gonna be Shakur or somebody else, it wasn't gonna be you. That's what he need to realize. So getting pissed off at Shakur, if Shakur take the fight, that ain't it, dog. You know what I'm saying? That ain't it. Cause I deeply, and I've been saying this, I deeply believe that he just don't want to fight Keyshawn. It's too dangerous, and the smarter play is to fight Shakur Stevenson. It's smarter to fight Shakur. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, especially for Bill Haney being a businessman. The much smarter fight is Shakur. So, man, who we gonna fight, man? I'm gonna let you know who it ain't gonna be. It ain't gonna be Keyshawn. It ain't gonna be Keyshawn. So, man, Shakur, hey, you gotta put that press on Devin now. You gotta let him know, let's really negotiate behind the scenes, not all this X shit, stop all the lying, Bill Haney, and let's get to it. But y'all let me know how y'all think. Drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know how I do, and I'm gone.